Welcome to this video on the transformation of parabolas, and in this video we're going to have a look at how to move parabolas left, right, up and down, how to stretch and compress them, and how to reflect it in the x and the y axis. So we start by shifting the parabola's k units to the left, and I decided to choose 3 as my k value. So I started with a parabola of 2x squared plus 3x minus 4, and that is my graph in blue. So if I move it 3 units to the left, you can see I replace my x with x plus 3. And you can see the result is my green graph. So all my critical points moved 3 units to the left. Then we move our graphs to the right. So I chose my k value as a 2. So I replace my x with x minus 2, and I end up with my blue graph as my graph that has been moved. So my original graph is my green graph, my blue graph is my new graph, and as you can see, all the critical values moved 3 units to the right. So just to demonstrate it over here, this point over here was here at -1, and now it is here at 3. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3 points to the right. Then to shift the parabola upwards, you just add the k at the end, and I chose k as 3. And as you can see, the result is the black graph over there, and we've just moved the graph 3 units upwards. Shifting the parabola downwards is as easy as taking the function and subtracting the number of units that you want to move down. And I decided to move 3 units down, so I've subtracted 3 at the end. So therefore you will see my original graph is my blue graph, and then my black one is my new graph, so 3 units down. Now if I should multiply my f of x by a k that is greater than 1, and I chose a 2, you will see that it is stretching the parabola by a scale factor of k in the y direction. As you can see, it goes lower down the y axis. Then if you have a look at the compressing the parabola in the y direction by a scale factor of k, as you can see, it's a lot more narrow in my new graph when I multiply it. In the first one, the coefficient of x squared was 1, now it is a half. Coefficient of x was 1, now it is a half. As you can see, it's a lot more concentrated around or closer to the y-axis. As you can see, it's a lot more narrow, although the x-intercepts remain exactly the same. If we compress the parabola in the x direction by a scale factor of k, what I did was I decided to replace my k with a 2. And as you can see, my original graph was a nice and fat parabola, and my x-intercepts are now a lot smaller, and therefore it is a compression in the x direction. Then if we have our k value now a fraction, so between 0 and 1, you can see it's a lot fatter, so my x-intercepts are a lot bigger than the original. So as you can see, it is a lot more stretched out. Then for the reflection in the x-axis, we basically just changed the y value sign. So as you can see, the f of x became a negative f of x. And then what I just basically do is I divide everything by negative. So my graph just became upside down. So the smiley face became a sad face. Then when you have a reflection in the y-axis, your x changes sign. So as you can see, f of x becomes f of negative x. So you replace all your x's with a negative x. So as you can see, the difference between my black graph and my blue graph. You might have to go through some of these examples again and maybe just go through the rules again. It's always a good idea to write them down a couple of times and make sure that you actually learn the rules off by heart. Remember that these rules will be true for all the functions. So thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if there is a video that you want us to make on a section that you are battling with, don't forget to ask.